Hey everyone, it's me, Al, and I'm out here firing the Olympic updraft kiln. We're doing a bisque fire, and I am handling those mugs that I was trimming yesterday. So let's go back inside. So here's some things that got done. So some things got dry too fast, so they're going to be candle cups, okay? And then I have mugs that I handled here. Just need to do a little bit of a cleanup. So the sun is starting to go down. This is the perfect time for drying a few things to where things can settle, but it doesn't necessarily get dry too fast. So some of these need to be cleaned up. So these are some of the pots that I was cleaning last night. There they are with the handles. And so these are stiffening up. So I have some that I was going to show you all how I put the handles on, right? Because some of you were wondering. So I just got done turning up the kiln and checking the kiln. And what I'm going to do is set you all right here while I handle, okay? So it's going to be like this makeshift thing. Like this. There we go. So let's get some mugs. So like I was saying, I had the doors of the studio open and the air was coming in. Even though I had things covered, it was still a real pain. Like things were drying out like way too fast. So I had to dip some of these pots in water to put moisture back into them so I could put handles on. So let's put handles on. I have some here under plastic that I already made, and we'll do a couple handles, right? So to put the handle on, this is a spring handle. So I hold it like this, and then I press it in. So you want to go halfway down the pot, press it in, and then you turn it. So everybody does handles differently, right? And some potters will score and slip. But with the spring handle and this clay body, I don't need to. So I'm just going to press that in right there and take that off. Take that bottom off. So now we do our design work a little bit. So then we just do smears down the side. One. Do the same on the other side. Two. Because we want to design in the glaze, right? And then we do the same, pressing this into the bottom like that. So I'll show you one that's done. A nice spring handle. And there you go. So hopefully you can see that, right? So this is what it'll look like when finished. Look at this, I'm shoving it all up in your face. And the glaze goes right over those lines. So it makes a really nice, I always like that. And that's the way I was taught how to do handles. So there's a million ways to do a handle, and I've only seen a few. So I'm going to set this right here and keep going because I'm running out of time. So with your handle, you want your handle to not be above the rim, right? Because in your cupboard you want to do flips, right? And you can't flip if a handle is above the rim. So I always try to leave my handles below the rim, Okay, so let's try this again. So I'm going to press this on. Halfway down about. Like that. So I know I'm at a weird angle. And then you make a nice ear. And then you straighten it up. And then, see that ear? Then you just press. Like that to hold it on. And then now you do your smears, okay? There's one side. Smear down your other side. So you can burn through a whole bunch of these in no time at all. And you get some nice design work, see? So let's look at it. You want a nice ear. And then, like I was saying, you flip these over for them to dry, but also you don't want that handle touching, because you want to put these in the cupboard, right? Upside down. So these rims here are still a little bit damp because I gave them a dip. So going back into these like I'm doing and fussing with them can really mess up a handle. So once they're on, you shouldn't fuss with them too much, because you lose that natural curvature. All right. So I came on to show handles because I promised I would. To the people who were hanging out watching me trim. All right. So to pull your handles, it's kind of like milking a cow, right? You stretch the clay out like you're milking a cow. Let's see, I'll try to get this angle here for you. Maybe like one or two people will watch. And they'll be like, "Al, we've seen you put the handles on, man." Okay. Then we do a curve. Make sure it's straight. And then pinch off. See, I already got that already almost. So now we do our design work. We do our smear outs. So it should only be like 5 touches. You're going to do one here, smear, smear, and then the other sides. You're going to smear the edge, smear the center, and smear the other edge. So the spring handle, some people will use slip and other things, but I never have. And if you want to make a correction, it's fairly easy to do. So see how this handle's a little bit long and it looks like strange? You can bring this down just by tearing it off and making it a little bit shorter. So it's fairly easy to adjust. And then when you glaze these, the glaze along with the clay holds it together on a spring handle. So with a spring handle, you have more surface area getting glazed and pressure points in different areas drying. So I personally seem to get less cracks with a spring handle. That's why I use it all the time. So let's try some more, right? Okay, so I'll show you this. There we go. It's not a bad ear, not a bad looking ear. So originally I had 50 thrown, but we had to make some in the candle cups because, like I was saying, things just got way too dry. So, let's grab some more handles here. So I'm holding it straight. I'm going to pinch this off right here, because this seems to be a little bit long. So hopefully everybody's having a good night. Handling is a pain in the rear, right? I dread it. And back when I was helping the Ms. Potter on my apprenticeships do handling, it was okay to complain about it as long as you were working, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to put this here. So we have a couple more to do. So hopefully I can get time to throw some more bowls and mugs tonight, if I get time. Alright, got to keep an eye on the kiln. So when the kiln's going, you cannot leave the kiln, right? It's like gas kilns are different than electric. You should not ever leave a gas kiln unattended, right? So I'm just doing a press like that. Then we'll make our loop, make our ear, make sure it's straight. So some of these may not turn out perfect, but done is better than perfect, right? These things are drying out. And then next, you know what we're going to stamp them all. There we go. So as you can see, they go quite quickly. If you have all your handles pulled ahead of time, I pulled probably like 30. And maybe I'll do a demo on how to pull a handle. Because sometimes, unless you've pulled a couple hundred, pulling handles can be a challenge. Alright. So this is going to be a shorty handle. And I may need to adjust this a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. Now see, that handle's like way out, right? We don't want way out handles. That just looks silly. So we're going to make it like that. And then I'm going to press it that. And then I'm going to do the smear down. I'm going to keep that line on the bottom, that ridge. And then we're going to do the smears on the edge. So this isn't going to be my best handle, right? Now, what I need to do, so you see those little boogers in there? Leave them in there, right? Leave them in there until it dries. Because if we try getting those out, we're just going to screw up our lines and everything else. So some people would try to clean those out, but maybe I can get them. Usually I just leave them and get them later. Don't forget that they're in there. This can make little bumps in the glaze, right? So there's that handle. Alright. Oh man, looks like it's gonna rain. Got the kilns going and it's gonna rain. Alright, we got 3 more. So what happens when it rains and the kilns are going? Not much. It rains on the kilns, but the kilns are so hot, right? It doesn't really matter at that point once they're going if the rain gets on them or not. All right. So I want the thicker end. So I almost messed this up. Thicker end halfway. We're pressing in. Then we do the ear. Now see this handle, see how limp that is? So if you screw it up, you can just pull it off, right? It's really easy to fix. No need to panic. I just take my little tool, take the excess clay off, and then we try again, right? Try again. Alright, here's the handle that's a little bit stiffer. So we're going to make the ear. See, I almost dropped it. And we're going to make sure it's right, straight. And we're going to do the pinch off right off the bottom so it looks like that. Now we do our fancy schmancy design. Wipe out. And then we do our wipes on the edges here. Down one. Down again. I'm flicking off the camera. And there we have it. So not bad. Okay, let's do some more, right? I got 2 more. And then I need to go check the kiln. I'll take you with me to check the kiln. Alright. So I don't know, I may need to pull a handle. Coming up short here. Let me see. See, I want this thicker handle here. Let's try this one on it. So if this handle goes flat, maybe we'll, if it doesn't hold its shape because it's not eerie enough. Almost. Almost. So look. Just don't tell anybody. Just don't tell anybody we put a drunk handle on this, alright? Look at that drunk handle. It's not even a very good ear. There's that. So maybe maybe we could fix it, huh? Alright, let's see what we could do. So maybe if I straighten it like that. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so now we'll put it upside down so it'll dry just like that. That's not bad. It's sticking up a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if it hits the table. Oh, not bad. Alright, great day. Okay. One more handle. Alright. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch out this handle a little bit. So to make a handle, I should make a handle, right? We're doing handles. I'll save this one to put on the mug. And then I'll show you how I make the handles. So it's kind of like milking a cow, right? You want to pull the handle. So you make a carrot. This is how I do it. So there's a million ways to make a handle, right? But this is the way. So when you make handles, you can get a 5-gallon pail and practice pulling them. Pull like 100, right? And stick them to the pail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this end and make it flat, right? And I'm going to do the same to the other side. So now I got a carrot. So I'm going to take some water, and it's like I'm milking a cow, right? So we're going to stretch out this clay, and we're turning it. And we're lengthening it out. See how that stretches? So you want to hold your hand the same width apart. And you want to go all the way to the end, right? So as you can see, you can make quite a few handles, right? And then you lay them all out on the board. And then to the length that you want. And then that's how you make a handle. So there's a handle. So let's take the handle we just made and see if we can put it right on our pot, right? So ideally you would want the pot body to be the same consistency in moisture as your handle. But with this clay body, I know that I can cheat on these. I know that with this shape handle, it will not crack if the body of the clay is a little bit drier than the handle. So let's put this on. So I'm going to do a press. So this is real slimy. But this moisture will be absorbed by the cup. Then we want to make that into a nice ear. We want to make sure that and then we smear it out. So this is a little bit messy because this is one we just pulled in. It's a little bit messier than what I'm used to, right? But I wanted to do it as an example to show that you can put a handle right on a form that you just pulled. So some clay bodies you may not be able to. Some clay bodies you may need to have it be the same consistency as the body of your mug, right? So I can see that is going to go above that rim, and that's going to bug me. So I'm just going to move this down. There we go. So you can see how that shape probably looks a little bit better too. There you go. It's not as silly of a handle, right? So I need to go and check the kiln. So why don't you come with me to check the kiln? And I'm gonna wash my hands. And we'll go and check the kiln. And we'll look in the peephole. And we'll learn about gas kilns a little bit. I'll give you some tips, right? So the first tip is to not get burned. We don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to just take the camera, and like old-timey YouTube days, we're going to go out here. And we're going to look in the kiln. So you want that flame flickering right out of the top, just like that. Just lightly. You don't want it blasting out of the top. And in here is the cone. And I can see right now that that's starting to bend. So when that starts to bend, with my kiln schedule, with the flame just like this, I know that I have 15 minutes to where that's bent halfway. And if I want that cone to be bent all the way down, I'll show you. Looks kind of like a finger, right? I think I have one around here. Yes, here's one. Like that. So this melts depending on the heat. And that's the only thing that I use to tell temperature when you fire manually. So if I have another 15 minutes to a half hour to have it look like this. And that's what we want. So this is almost done. So I'm gonna get my glove, and I'm gonna take a cup of coffee first. Just need to get my glove. And I don't know if you can see that cone in there or not. So look, let me switch you guys around. Because you're gonna look, okay, there you are. So let's look in the hole. Now I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that bent thing in there or not. But it's in there. And it's right on that shelf. So looking, it's getting closer, so it's still bending as we're talking, right? So what I'm gonna do is, when the time comes, I'm gonna shut off the gas at the tank over there, and then when the flame goes away, I'm gonna push this damper over that hole, because I want to hold in the heat. And this is the first firing that I've done in probably a couple months. I haven't been making a whole lot of pots because I've been pretty busy with other things. But my busy time is in the fall with Christmas pots and things. So let's look in there. So you can see the bowls. Hear that sound? That's the nicest sound. When the kiln's breathing like that. And that's how you can tell if the kiln is doing well or not, by how the kiln's breathing. So in gas firing, you use sound, you use smell, because if there's a lot of fuel in the chamber, you will smell it. It'll be smoky and things like that. So is it possible to overfire a kiln? Yes, because if I was upstairs and I was watching Project Runway, right? And I missed that cone bending, it would overfire. And the pots may be too hard to glaze. Like, I would have to warm up the pots. The pots would not absorb glaze the way they would need to. If at this stage the kiln overfired, you have probably 15 minutes. If that cone went down, you have a couple minutes. So it's not like the end of the world, right? So I would come out and I'd be like, oh man, I missed the cone drop. And I would look to see if it was a hard drop, if the cone is still hard and not like melty. If it's hard like a lollipop, then I'm fine. But if it's overfired and it's starting to look like melted chocolate, I know that I'm at least more than 15 minutes past. and I may have a hard time glazing at this stage. The glaze firing, overfire, your clay could start to boil, and you could get blisters in your clay body, and also it could fry out your glaze. So yeah, you can see the edge of the pots in there. Those are bowls. There's no glaze on these pots. This is just a bisque fire. So need to pay attention here. Let's look. Oh yeah, that's down. So we're gonna shut down this kiln. So let's go over here to the gas, safety first. Shut off the main gas until you hear it off. And then am I turning it the right way? There it goes. I turned it the wrong way. Then, once the flame goes out, you turn off this valve to the gas, to the kiln. Then you come over here and you push this right over top. And your kiln is down. Okay, well, thanks for helping me shut down the kiln. And thanks for stopping by and seeing me put on a few handles, right? So, if you like seeing the pots, I just come on this channel to hide. This is an old-timey Wayman 29 channel. But I have my pottery channel over on Creek Road Pottery. I do stuff over there too. But this is just a relax, hangout kind of channel, right? So, have a great night, all. And on this channel, I say, take care, friends. And remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.